Floyd with Pearls of Wisdom. And my scripture is found in Matthew 8:23 through 27. And let's read it together. And when he was entered into a ship, and I'm talking about Jesus, his disciples followed him. And behold, there arose a great tempest in the sea, insomuch the ship was covered with the waves, and he was asleep. And his disciples came to him and awoke him, saying, Lord, save us, we perish. And he said unto them, Why are you fearful, O ye of little faith? Then he arose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. But the men marveled, saying, What a manner of man is this, that even the winds and the sea obey him? Now Jesus had just prayed for Peter's mother-in-law, who was sick with a fever. And Jesus touched her hand, and the fever left, and she arose and ministered unto them. You know, the King James is written in 1611 English, so what happened was, I imagine she got up and fed them. And then at evening they brought many that were possessed with devils, and he cast out the spirits, and with his word, and healed all that were sick. Now the disciples were there, and they saw all the miracles that were there. They had been traveling with him. They saw all the miracles that Jesus was doing. So now they get into a boat, and as they were going across the sea, a storm comes up. So the storm comes up, and Jesus was asleep in the boat. So now the disciples are scared. So they call on Jesus. And Jesus wakes up and says to them, Why are you fearful? You just heard of all these miracles. You just saw what I did. Why can't you do this? Why can't you have the faith? You just heard all of this. O ye of little faith. Then he arose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. And now they were all of a sudden, what manner of a man is this? They marveled at him. Well, they'd been with him. They saw all these miracles. They knew what he could do. You know, my husband and I had gone through a succession for about 2 weeks of one after another trial. And finally, my husband said to me one morning, he said, I'm not going to pray any longer. I'm going to speak to this. And he said, and when I go out that front door and I close it, this thing is going to turn around. He said, I'm going to speak to it like Jesus taught us. And he spoke to it, and he closed the door and went out. And you know, from that day forward, that thing started turning around. You know, sometimes we're going to have to stop praying, and we're going to have to speak to the storms in our life. Just like we were going to have faith. And unlike the disciples, we're going to have to not be fearful and speak to things in our lives. We're going to have to read the word and be doers of it and not hearers only. This is Donna Floyd with Pearls of Wisdom.